And welcome back to the channel. This is Common Denominator. Today the topic is interracial dating and competition, the notion of competition. Why is this important? Well, if you live in America, if you live in Canada, Australia, or anywhere where there's a multicultural environment and there's one primary language that's spoken throughout society, this is going to be a very, very important video for you to pay attention to and to take notes on. Basically, I want to give a few examples. First thing I want to do is I want to talk about this from a business standpoint. I'm going to start off with the example of cars because I really like cars, and it's probably the easiest example to get. All right, so we have, if we look at the screen, we have some cars on the screen. We have a Ford and a BMW, and then the other picture was a Ford and I think it was a Honda. Domestic versus import. Now, for this example, domestic will represent people of your tribe, of your group, of your ethnic group, and import will be everything else. Okay, anything that you import into your group or into your circle, which would represent other ethnicities. And when I would visit Japan, when I lived overseas, I noticed that the Japanese primarily drove Japanese cars. I'd say 99% of the cars were Japanese cars. Now, when you come to America, and then, okay, let me go back to Japan. Then again, Japan is a homogenous country where basically 95%, 99% of the people are Japanese, one group of people. So kind of makes sense. But there were a few cars there that were foreign cars. Now, what's my point? In America, we have a lot of competition. We have a lot of different groups living here and a lot of competition amongst the different car manufacturers. And there's this concept of brand loyalty. Okay, the concept of brand loyalty. Some Americans are very, very loyal to brands like Ford or Chevy, and they treat these vehicles and these brands as if they are part of their tribe and they represent their tribe. Kind of like how a flag would represent a country, or a beverage like Coca-Cola, not advertising them, I don't drink it, but would represent a country as well. Or hamburgers, or McDonald's, how it would represent America. Once again, I don't buy or eat those things. I'm just using them as an example. So there's some people who are very loyal domestically to these vehicles and to these brands. Now, in the dating world, the same thing is true for people who find themselves being loyal to their tribe. Okay, they find themselves being loyal to their tribe, but more so, there are people within the tribe who expect brand loyalty. And what I'm saying is there are people in the tribe who expect people to be loyal to the tribe and to the people within the tribe when it comes to the dating world. Basically, this is tribalism. And I talked about this yesterday in my live stream, but I just wanted to give some further examples of tribalism. So what happens is you have both men and women who are saying, look, you're supposed to be buying these domestic cars because you're American. And these people are saying, no, I like these imports. I like these BMWs. I like these other cars. They look very attractive. They're still cars. You still drive them. They get you from point A to point B, but they're foreign and they're competition. And, you know, when I was overseas, there were, the country I was living in, there were people who did not like the fact that other people were buying foreign cars. They didn't like that at all. And they would actually do crazy things like key people's cars or dent them on purpose to let them know that they didn't appreciate these people buying foreign cars. Once again, it had to be, and this is a real story, it had to be domestic only, brand loyalty to the tribe, to the country. So tribalism is a very important thing to consider when dealing with competition. Now, with competition, let's say Ford, for instance, let's say the Fords, they don't look as good. Let's just say it's a domestic brand, and let's say for some reason it's not as attractive to the buyers. It is, but Ford is demanding that the buyers buy their cars. They're saying, hey, look, these are Fords. This is a domestic brand. You're American. You need to be buying Fords. Okay, so what are the customers saying? The customers are saying, no, we don't like the way your cars look. So Ford has two options at this point. What they can do is they can improve the quality of their cars, the way it looks, so that it becomes more attractive. AKA, they can compete against the imports or those outside of the tribe. Or they can stay as is and they can complain that people are not practicing brand loyalty. All right, so there's an example from the world of business when it comes to domestic versus import and tribalism. What I'm saying is, because of the many different tribes in America, the many different ethnicities, people need to be very aware of the competition. And instead of demanding brand loyalty, and there's nothing wrong with demanding brand loyalty or loyalty to your tribe or your ethnic group, it's more important to focus on being your best and actually competing and doing your best to compete within your skill set and with what you have, doing your best, whether it's everything external, anything. You have to compete. You have to look at your competition, see what the competition's doing. The competition, especially the competition who's winning, find out ways to become better. That's it. Okay, next is trends and what's hot. Different. I'm not going to give a car example for this, but when it comes to interracial attraction and dating, different people bring different skills and attributes to the game that some people find to be attractive. And when this happens, the media takes hold of it and it gets pushed out there. The magazines, the online magazines, the videos, music videos, acting. The media picks up on it, and it becomes a trend. And different tribal groups, different ethnicities have different strengths. Okay, I don't want to get into the different strengths at this time, but whether you're male or female, there are different positive and negative stereotypes and strengths associated with your tribal group. So in this world of competition, it's best to try to diminish or eliminate the negative stereotypes, create or accentuate the positive stereotypes as much as possible to improve brand value. Okay. And there's a number of ways you can do this. I could probably break this down in another video, running out of time. So what happens is sometimes when the media and music and popular, pop culture picks up on a trend, they run with it. And one group, or maybe a couple of groups, get an extraordinary amount of advertising, free advertising. and it rockets them up to the number 1 and number 2 positions in popularity and beauty. And then what happens is people don't know why they like them so much. They don't understand why, and it drives the interracial attraction, marriage trends, different trends. It drives the trends. So you can see, little swings and increases and decreases in trends over the years. And it's because of what the photographers, because of the lens, because of the camera, the directors, these different people who are in charge, who make these decisions. And I'm going to compare it to the election in politics. When a candidate gets, the candidate that typically raises the most money, typically, this has been the rule, the candidate that typically raises the most money usually wins the election, because what they're able to do is have more advertising dollars and market more. Therefore, they become more visible. This is what's happening with some tribal groups and some ethnicities today. So sizing up the competition. These are the important principles if you're going to be successful in this market. You can take one of two positions. You can sit back and say, hey, I don't want to have to compete. There should be brand loyalty, but just understand that your customers may leave. But when you step it up and you produce better results, if you look better, do better things, no matter which racial group you're in, and no matter what you're aiming to do, whether it's accentuate certain parts of your body, whatever it is, the buyers or the suitors or the people who are looking to date you will pay attention. And that's how trends are driven. That's how the market moves. And it's just like business. So I wanted to give you this example. Anyway, for any questions or comments, go ahead and hit me up in the comment section. I'll try to answer as many questions and comments as possible. And once again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.